film mezuzahs and sefer Teiros. And he told us this ma'aseh. He made it a good ma'aseh. You have to hear it.
Belanov said the
He
story.
said one day a gentleman comes.
Rabbi Belanov said the story.
Yeah. One day a gentleman comes into their office or place where they check the mezuzahs, and he asks, "Please check my Rabbeinu Tam's film." They asked him, "Why only Rabbeinu Tam?" "I don't know. I have a feeling that I have to check my Rabbeinu Tam." Okay. They took the shalyad and they checked that everything was kosher. When they opened up the Shalrosh, the first Pasha, Shema Yisrael, one of the letters was a nifsik, was divided, so they had to rewrite the whole Pasha. Fine. Rabbi Bella says a few days later, this gentleman comes back, and he says, "I have to tell you something." "What do you have to tell us?" He says, "When I came back home, I called my father. He bought me this Rabbeinu Tam film. I just got married a few weeks ago. He bought me a Rabbeinu Tam film. I should put on film after the wedding. And I tell him, Abba, you know, in the film that you bought in the Shalrosti was a problem. I had to rewrite the Parsha." And my father, he said, became very nervous. He said he was very aroused. He asked, "Abba, what happened?" He said, "Let me tell you. You are now 26 years old. 13 years ago, when you were a Bar Mitzvah Bocher, I took you to the Lubavitcher Rebbe to get a brocha. The Rebbe gave me $1, and he gave you $1. And then he gives me another $1. The father tells the son. And the Rebbe tells me that this second $1 is to participate, that you should be beidik your son's Rabbeinu Tam film." So the father tells me that I told the Lubavitcher Rebbe in Chabad, he put on Rabbeinu Tam Surah after the Bar Mitzvah. We are sons of Chassidim. And in sons, you first put on the tefillin Rabbeinu Tam after the Chasna. He's only 13 years old now. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe tells me these words. He says, "Good. When he gets married, and he can start putting on the Rabbeinu Tam tefillin before he starts putting on the tefillin, have them checked." And the father says, "Why am I so disturbed? I forgot all about it." That means that for 2-3 weeks you were wearing Posel Rabbeinu Tam tefillin when the Lubavitcher Rebbe. But he says, "Give a cook." 13 years before, the Rebbe already saw that you have to check your Rabbeinu Tam tefillin that is being absolved. He says, the Rebbe saw what's going to happen 13 years later. He says, but I can't take away the fact that I was experienced. But the Diha as we call it, a personal story that happened with me, when the Rebbe sees what's going to happen so many years later, and the Rebbe told him to take care of it. And so we find that in many, many cases, what the things the Rebbe said, and people thought, wow. And later they realized that the Rebbe saw things that's going to happen many, many times, hours later, many days, months later, and the Rebbe trying to take care of it right away now. Why am I telling all these stories? As I said before, the Rebbe doesn't become holier with this, he doesn't become greater with this. The Rebbe is a Rebbe. Achon Shal Pesach Tovshin Yud, that was just